They are expanding again, Trazak said, his 4 eyes flicking over the holographic map. Commander Vola leaned closer. The war room's blue light glinted off her scales. "Where this time?" she asked. "Centauri," Trazak replied, zooming on a previously empty world. "Landing zones on the northern continent. Atmospheric conversion already underway." A low, collective hiss ran through the council, equal parts worry and anger. "How many colonists?" Vola asked. "Initial scans, about 10,000. Standard human pattern." Vola stood. All 7 feet of her filled the space. "There's nothing standard about human settlements, Trazak's," she said. "Remember that." I watched them with a tightening stomach. I was Nepheri, the newest xenobiologist attached to the Galactic Defense Coalition. 6 solar cycles earlier I'd been studying plants in the Outer Rim. Now I was aboard the flagship Inevitable Justice, assigned to observe the most dangerous species in known space. When Vola turned to me, she said, "You've studied their expansion. Your assessment?" I cleared my throat out of habit, a small mimicry I'd picked up from human broadcasts. "Centauri has water, tolerable gravity, and rich minerals. It fits their colonization profile," I said. Vola didn't want a geology report. She wanted intent. "Do they come to conquer, to survive, or both?" she asked. I tried to be honest. Humans don't colonize like us. They don't always calculate the way our strategists do. They move because they always want more, because they learn fast, because they adapt faster than anyone expects. Trazak snorted. "They are persistent pests," he said. Vola's eyes cut him off. "Persistent pests that have outmaneuvered every containment we tried." She shot back. The briefing broke into a dozen voices, but I kept watching the hologram. The colony's layout bothered me. Not the usual sprawling civilian grid. Defensive geometry. Overlapping fields of fire. Large installations ring the perimeter. After the room emptied, I asked Vola to let me go with the observation team. She hesitated, then said, "Very well. Captain Drell's team. Departure in 6 hours. Don't make me regret it." I didn't. I couldn't. I was the only civilian scientist aboard a warship, already balancing 2 worlds. 6 hours later, I sat in a stealth shuttle with Captain Drell and 5 recon specialists. Drell was pale blue and humorless, his tactical stare assessing me the whole flight. "Commander Vola says you're an expert on humans," he said. "Studying them and surviving them are different," he added. We dropped into Centauri's atmosphere cloaked. From above, the colony looked neat and deliberate. Striped fields, angular buildings, corridors of light. We landed 3 kilometers out in a purple leaf forest. Gravity was a touch higher than normal. Endurance would matter. 300 meters from the perimeter, the trees stopped, cleared into a defensive ring. Standard for humans, except this time the soil showed regular texture shifts, a minefield pattern. "They've set sensors or explosives," I whispered. Drell ordered long-range observation. Zevik launched microdrones no bigger than thumbs. Their video feed painted the colony in sharp detail. Men and women moved with military precision. Heavy crates, plasma drills, large transporters. In the middle, a reflective roof complex caught every eye. "Not a lab?" Drell asked. "Not ordinary civil," I said. Probably a research complex. Humans don't build that unless they found something worth protecting. Then the drones found the pit, 100 meters across, carved deep into the crust. Humans in suits hold glowing containers from the depths. The material pulsed a blue-green light. It sang in my instruments. Quantium. Quantium is the stuff of legends, a quantum unstable element that stores ungodly energy. With it, FTL tech, power beyond reckoning. If the humans were mining quantium, nothing in nearby space would remain the same. We watched until we shouldn't have. The drones picked up a vehicle heading toward us. We're compromised, Drell ordered. We packed up and ran. Trees exploded behind us. Human fire laced the air. They weren't looking to capture. They were trying to kill. We hit a ravine and leapt. A blinding flash rocked us. The world folded into noise. When I came to, human figures surrounded us in armor that absorbed light. "Don't move," a voice said in broken galactic standard. They removed helmets with clinical calm. The woman who spoke had red hair pulled tight and green eyes that saw too much. "You're the xenobiologist," she said. "We invited you." They didn't haul us away like criminals. They moved us with clean efficiency, neither cool nor kind. In the central building, under that liquid metal roof, I met Dr. Madsen. She was not interested in triumph. She was curious. "We didn't build most of this," she told me. "We assembled it, modular, deceptive to orbital sensors. We expected unwanted visitors." They already knew about our ship. They knew about me. They had been waiting for someone who could read life forms in odd substrates. Madsen led me to the lab. The quantium wasn't just ore. It behaved like a silicon-based organism, a quasi-life form that reacted to stimuli, shaped structures on microscopic scales, and emitted quantum fluctuations that mapped into patterns. Their extraction had wounded it. "You've been killing it," I said. They'd halted mining, but the colony was committed. The humans had too much invested to simply leave. "What do you want?" I asked. "Help us talk to it," Dr. Madsen said. "Help us keep it alive and prove to your coalition this is not a military outpost." It sounded like betrayal. It felt like science. I agreed. They put me with their xenobiology lead, Dr. Afeline. The data was convincing. The quantium pulse in structured sequences, not random, intentional. But our instruments kept failing because the patterns shifted faster than our filters could follow. I suggested a dangerous hypothesis. The entity might communicate through direct neurological coupling. Our dampening suits protected us from radiation and from contact. What if that very protection blocked its language? They argued. They prepped emergency extraction. They stripped me down to minimal shields that stopped radiation but not quantum exchange. We lowered into a cavern where the core pooled like living light. The glow pulsed. The air hummed. My fingers brushed the surface. A jolt ran up my arm. Then there was no language, only concept. Age, travel, networks of kin across the galaxy, and a warning. Hunters that follow quantum signatures, ancient, hungry. Mining had amplified its signal and drawn those predators nearer. I collapsed as excess understanding bled back into me. Tanner, head of security, caught me. He'd watched suspicion turn to respect. Through me the humans tasted the truth. The entity's message was not accusation but plea. It needed help, and it offered knowledge in return. It showed me a vision of humanity not as conquerors, but as adaptive, stubborn guardians, capable of cruelty and of courage. If united, we might stand a chance. News travels ugly in coalitions. I faced Commander Vola and the Council. She doubted. She wanted proof. The humans agreed to control contact. Representatives from both sides experienced the thing and emerged altered. War didn't dissolve. Fear didn't evaporate. But a coalition task force formed to relocate and protect the entity. Research teams began to map its quantum network and call across the stars. 6 months later, I stood on the deck of the joint research vessel Quantum Horizons, watching stars smear into streaks. The quantium, contained and escorted, was moving to safety. Director Tanner joined me and, for the first time, offered something like a human smile. "Second thoughts?" he asked. "No," I said, just thinking about the irony. We'd feared human colonies because of what they might take. We learned that the same stubborn, adaptive drive that made them dangerous could also make them allies. The hunters were coming. For the first time in eons, whatever came for us would find us ready. Different species, different minds, standing beside one another.